Indianapolis is broke. What a surprise. For years, politicians, business leaders, and the Indianapolis Star have been raving about downtown development, telling us that taxpayer funded stadiums are good for us, and the convention and hotel business will generate tens of thousands of jobs. Here's one example of the Star's rah rah attitude from its lead shill. In fact, the new stadium will not take a single tax dollar from salaries for police or assistance for welfare. It will produce millions of direct spending that will aid businesses and jobs and spin off millions more in tax revenue. Then on January 28, 2009, the Star finally had to admit that it was wrong. The reality? The city is going broke. The CIB is broke. The new stadiums don't produce any new jobs. Hotel occupancy is crashing. The convention business is a joke because it doesn't generate any revenue at all except to the hotel and restaurant industry. Now we learn the CIB needs another $43 million a year just to break even. So either the Star and Bart Peterson and Bob Bedell and the ICVA and Fred Glass and Patrick Earley are liars or they're idiots. One or the other. Everybody with half a brain saw this coming. Now it's time to pay the piper, and that means more taxes. Who benefits from all this? The Simons benefit. Pacers owners Mel and Herb Simon can hardly go to the bathroom without government money. The punk Pacers enjoy free use of Conseco Fieldhouse. The city and the CIB gave the Simons millions in subsidies just to build their new headquarters downtown instead of in Carmel. The city set up a special tax abatement redevelopment district on the east side, which neatly extends just far enough to include Washington Square, which is owned by the Simons. Herb and Mel, the billionaires on welfare, won another $15 million a year from taxpayers just to keep the Pacers here. What have the Simons done for the city? They let Eastgate Mall go to pot and then sold it. They let Lafayette Square go to pot and then sold it. They're at it again with Washington Square, which is going to pot. It's so bad, it's not even mentioned in Simon's TV ads. Simon doesn't even keep the mall layout up to date on their website. Macy's? There's no Macy's at Washington Square. Who benefits? Jimmy Irsay benefits. In 1998, Mayor Steve Goldsmith negotiated a wacky deal with the Colts that guaranteed the team would earn NFL median revenue. Constitutional? No, but that didn't stop the Indianapolis City County Council from approving it like obedient sheep. Then Jimmy Irsay decided he needed even more money out of the taxpayers, so the city and state and donut counties taxed our brains out to build the Colts a new stadium. Colts owner Jimmy Irsay, the luckiest man alive, has never done anything in his entire life except inherit an NFL team. He's a beneficiary of the most lucrative, lopsided deal in the NFL, thanks to Bart Peterson and Mitch Daniels, a monster of a stadium which will be used maybe 15 times a year and sit idle the other 95% of the time. Recapping. All this welfare for rich white men has left the CIB deep in the hole, $43 million a year short. Mayor Greg Ballard has already said taxes will be increased to provide more corporate welfare for the billionaire Simons and the billionaire Irsay. Way to show backbone, Greg. Player salaries will be spared, of course. Corporate welfare is the norm for Indy. Kite Realty Group got $8 million from the city to put toward the new 4, not 5-star Conrad Hotel. Kite even admitting the deal couldn't be done without that money, and they got millions more for redeveloping Glendale. This is how business is done in Indy. Fat cats suck at the public teat until it's dry, and then they go back to their friends in the General Assembly and the City Council, spread some love around, and demand more corporate welfare, and they always get it. The Secret Society, or the CIB. The Capital Improvement Board of Managers of Marion County, a secret governmental agency formed to own and manage Conseco and Lucas, and to make decisions far away from media and public oversight. None of the CIB is elected by the public. They're all insiders. The CIB reports to nobody. The head of the CIB is Bob Grand. Mayor Ballard appointed him. Bob Grand is managing partner at the law firm of Barnes & Thornburg and a lobbyist for the Simons, who own the Pacers, and his law firm represents the Simons and the Pacers. Such conflicts. Greg Ballard thought Bob Grand was the perfect choice to run the CIB, which is like appointing Darth Vader to protect Princess Leia from the Empire. The CIB is trying to consolidate its power even further. Along comes State Representative Cherish Pryor. Apparently opposed to both representative government and fiscal responsibility, she's introduced HB 1156, which would expand the CIB's board from 9 to 11 members, requiring that the 2 additional members be appointed by the Greater Indianapolis Hotel and Lodging Association and the Indiana Restaurant Association. There's democracy for you. Cherish has such high moral standards that she accepted a campaign contribution from the loan sharks at Advance America. The CIB or the Mafia? Pretty much the same, except the Mafia is more open and fair. The role of the Republicans. When even the Republicans turn socialist, watch your wallet. The Republicans sure have distinguished themselves lately. Governor Mitch Daniels was instrumental in the Lucas Oil Stadium deal, but he's been pretty quiet lately about the CIB being in the hole. He's probably laying low. After all, he was vice president for corporate strategy and policy at Eli Lilly from 1997 to 2001, and Lilly just pled guilty to criminal violation of federal law regarding the off-label promotion of Zyprexa during Mitch's tenure. Lilly had to pay a criminal fine of $500 million. Good job, Mitch. State Senator Luke Kenley is proud that in 1995 he authored the law that cut Indiana welfare rolls by half. But then in 2005, he led the State House charge to lock in corporate welfare for Jimmy Irsay. Take a bow, Luke. Greg Ballard is off to a heck of a start as mayor. He appointed Bob Grand to head the CIB. Our roads are in the worst shape they've ever been, and he just got back from a junket to Tampa where he supposedly learned how to run a Super Bowl. Tampa's not a cold weather city, Greg, so you're not going to learn much there. And while you were out there goofing around, IPS kids were getting beaten up at school bus stops. I even voted for Ballard, but I regret it. He is truly a disappointment. The next steps. Taxes in Indy will be raised even more to support the Colts and Pacers instead of to improve the quality of life. Money that could go to making neighborhoods safe will instead line the pockets of fat cats. From the same liars or idiots who gave us a government-owned Circle Center Mall, a new Colts stadium, a new Pacers arena, a billion-dollar airport the airlines didn't want, another convention center expansion, and taxpayer-funded hotels, a new drumbeat will become louder and louder, starting with heavy coverage in the ever-reliable Indianapolis Star, a steady campaign for light rail for white people. Yes, what Indy really needs is a multi-hundred-million-dollar taxpayer-funded train system so affluent white people who move to Hamilton County to get away from black people can get downtown faster. This is brilliant. It ties in so well with the vision of our city leaders, which is a gleaming downtown surrounded by a rundown donut, surrounded by a bigger gleaming donut of white people. Indianapolis is powered by money and racism, and with crime so high and jobs so scarce, nothing could be more racist than diverting scarce tax revenue into the pockets of wealthy white people. Indianapolis gets no benefit from having an NBA and NFL franchise here.